mastering algebraic terminology with this visual guide. If you've ever been confused by mathematical language or mixed up these essential terms, you're in exactly the right place. By the end of this presentation, you'll upgrade your math vocabulary and never confuse these terms again. What's the difference? Let's start with the fundamental building blocks. A term is your most basic mathematical unit. It's a single number, letter, or product of numbers and variables. Think of examples like 3x, just y, or simply the number 5. Now, an expression is where things get more interesting. It's one or more terms connected by operators like plus or minus. Take our example, 3x minus 4y plus 7. That's 3 separate terms working together in one expression. More key differences. Moving up in complexity, we encounter equations and identities. An equation shows us that 2 expressions are equal to each other, like x plus 3 equals 10. But here's something special that often confuses students. An identity is an equation that's true for every possible value of the variables. We mark these with 3 horizontal lines instead of a regular equal sign. For example, x plus x is identical to 2x, no matter what value x represents. Understanding coefficients. Now let's examine this expression, 3x plus 5y plus 7. Here we can identify 3 distinct parts. The number 3 is the coefficient of x. It tells us how many x's we have. Similarly, 5 is the coefficient of y. And that 7, that's a constant because it has no variable attached to it. Hidden coefficients. Here's a trick that catches many students off guard. In the expression x minus 4y plus 7, the coefficient of x is actually 1. We just don't write it because it's understood. The coefficient of y is negative 4, and 7 remains our constant term. Remember, every variable has a coefficient, even when we don't see it written. Constants versus variables. Let's clarify the difference between constants and variables. Constants are fixed values with no variables, numbers like 8, negative 3, pi, or 1970. These never change their value. Variables, on the other hand, are letters that can represent different values, like x, y, a, or b. They're called variables because their values can vary. What is a formula? A formula takes our understanding further. It's a rule that shows the relationship between physical variables in a specific context. Think of familiar examples like c equals 2 pi r for circumference, or a squared plus b squared equals c squared for the Pythagorean theorem. These formulas help us solve real-world problems. Creating your own formulas. You can create your own formulas by following 3 simple steps. First, identify the variables. What quantities are changing in your scenario? Second, find the relationship. How do these quantities relate to each other? Finally, write the formula by expressing that relationship using variables. Formula example. Cost. Let's see this in action with a practical example. Jun spends money in the school canteen where each meal costs £3.50, each drink costs £1, and each piece of fruit costs 40 pence. Our formula becomes C equals 3.5 mer plus D plus 0.4 F, where C is total cost, M is meals, D is drinks, and F is fruit. How to identify what you're looking at? Here's your quick identification guide that you can use anytime. A term is a single element with no plus or minus operators within it. An expression has multiple terms but no equal sign. An equation has an equal sign, and an identity has the special identity symbol with 3 horizontal lines. Quick review. Let's recap what we've covered. We've explored 5 major terms: term, expression, equation, identity, and formula. We've learned about 2 key symbols, the equal sign and the identity symbol. These concepts have infinite applications. They're used in all areas of mathematics and sciences. Mastered the basics! Congratulations! You've now mastered the basics and can confidently use the correct algebraic terminology in your math class. Share this knowledge with classmates who might be struggling with these terms, or save it for your exam review. You're now equipped with the mathematical vocabulary that will serve you well throughout your studies.